sound check. And hopefully we're good to go. So we're doing a check on the sound. And hopefully we're good to go. Looks like that's good. So welcome in, everyone. We have a very special treat for you today. For anyone who's on the replay, I'm sorry that you missed the live. And for everyone who's here now, welcome. We're going to do something very special for you today. We have our good friend, Mr. Noe Amos, doing a very special treat for you today. He's going to explain to you the Delphi murders triangle theory, a theory that Mr. Amos, myself, and Mr. Joe Swisher, retired Master Trooper, Indiana State Police, have discussed at length and come up with, based on our opinions of many circumstances regarding the Delphi murders, case and the information that's transpired over the years and our own walkarounds at the various locations in the vicinity of Deer Creek. So, welcome in everyone, and I won't delay much longer. I'm going to bring Mr. Noe Amos on. He is ready to go. So, at this moment, I'm going to bring him up, and I'm going to duck out. And guys, please enjoy the Delphi Murders Triangle Theory with Noe Amos at Venue 3.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Noe, and I'm standing here on the north side of the Monon High Bridge in Delphi, Indiana, and enjoying the weather. It's not so terribly hot, it's decent. Taking it that I'm under shade, there's a lot of green on the trees. It's very peaceful. I have not seen one one soul here since I've been here. I've been here for about 20 minutes or so. Um, and well, like Prof explained, there's this idea about this triangle, if you want to call it a theory or whatever. I know that some of you guys know who retired Master Trooper Joe Swisher is. He's a friend of mine. He's out of Wabash, and him and I have made several trips here to the Monon High Bridge. And let me tell you guys ahead of time that I'm gonna struggle quite a bit with the camera. I don't have my stand or my holder, and I quite frankly, let me see.
Okay, we appear to have lost Noe. He's going to probably clip back on. I know the signal is a little iffy out there. So while he's getting his stream back, oh, here we go. I'd just like to say hello to everyone in the chat. Thanks for joining in. Please leave your questions for Noe, and we'll get to it at the end. He's going to explain a little about what we are presenting. But here he's back. Thanks,
Okay,
Noe.
I apologize for that. Yeah, the signal's gonna be iffy here and there, but I was saying that I may struggle a bit with the camera. I don't have my holder, and I quite frankly don't know how to turn the camera around so that it's facing in front of me. But we'll do our best. So, so basically, yeah, this triangle theory, triangle idea, which it pretty much covers the Monon High Bridge south side. So I'm gonna walk behind the camera, and I hope you guys can get some of the image, and I'm not too shaky or filming something I'm not supposed to. But yeah, it covers the south end of the Monon High Bridge. Uh, it expands down to Wilson, Anderson's, and that's pretty much the triangle. And everything that's inside that triangle is our idea that Joe has shared with me. Everything inside that triangle is where the crime occurred. I'm showing you Deer Creek right now. I'm right about in the middle of the new section of the bridge. There's this little, let me see, yeah, this little place where like you can kind of like look over the rail and into the creek. And then there's one to the other side, which is the Ron Logan's properties on this side, where a lot of people like to call it the scene of the crime. I like to call it the scene of the staging. I don't believe the crime happened where the bodies were found. And I promised Prof that I wasn't gonna cross the rail and walk to the south side. But every time I come here, I just have to cross this rail and walk to the south side. So, would you guys be mad if I do that? Should I, or should I keep my word to Prof? I'm not sure that I can read any comments. I don't. Nope, I can't read any comments. But basically, this is what you do. All right, and we know that here I am. We know that it only takes a few minutes to get to the south side. So if we're gonna do the triangle theory, might as well just hit every point of the triangle. I'll go to the south side and come back. Um, so here I am. I'm walking on the bridge on the old Monon, and I'm gonna go to the south side, and that's one point of the triangle. You know, it wouldn't be fun for me to come all the way to Delphi, Indiana, and not cross the rail. Okay, so sorry, Prof, but you see, you don't tell me what to do, Prof. I do what I want, like Ruckus. Okay, period. Final. So here I am, and you know, guys, it takes just a few minutes to get there and back. It's not like I'm gonna be here for 24 hours. So we're going by these platforms. Here's a platform that I am not going to step on. I try to, I'm trying to keep my focus on the trestles and figure out which ones look rotten and older and which ones look more sturdy. So you see, like that one, I'm gonna step on that one over there. But anyway, it's this is the fun of coming to the Monan for me, right? Is to actually going to the spot of like crossing the creek, like I did before. Um, if you come to the Monan and you stop at the rail, I'm sorry, you know, look at that. Should I step on that one? Probably not. Yeah, if you come to the Monan and you stop at the end of the rail, just stay home. Don't come out here. If you're gonna come out here and you know what you call the boots on the ground type of stuff. Do the real stuff. You know, there's been several people who's crossed this bridge. Uh, I don't like this, but oh well, I can see. Let me step over here. There we go. I couldn't see the trestles there with all the weeds. But yeah, there's been several people who've crossed this, and before the rails were built, and I don't know if I've seen anybody cross the bridge, the entire bridge, after the rails were built, other than me. Um, I'm not sure that I've seen any other videos. Maybe there are, but I haven't seen them. So I apologize if I haven't seen them. I know that this is probably my fourth time crossing the rails and walking to the south side. My very first video, which was featured on Crime to Sleep with Mr. Kishti, a great friend of mine, that video featured a full walk across the creek, down the hill, into the embankment, across the creek, into the scene of the staging, and then to the um, cemetery, and then furthermore to my vehicle. It was in the winter of 2023, I believe. It was an anniversary walk that was featured on Crime to Sleep. So here I am. I don't know. I didn't take time. I didn't. I don't know how long it took me, but here I am in the south side. So down on this side is the down the hill towards the Weber's Drive, and the creek is just straight up ahead down that way. Not very far. I don't even think it's a football field length. Um, I've been here before, and I've walked down here, and I've showed. I'm not gonna go all the way under the bridge this time, but I'll walk up to here and show you what. Basically, I'll stand here on this concrete slab and show you what the south side under the bridge looks like. It is nice and quiet and tranquil here. As you can see, that's under the Monon High Bridge on the south side. Okay, and here I am. I'm still alive, okay? So I'm going back to where the trestles end. So basically here, the there's a little path that continues, as you can see, but that would go into Weber's property, which I am not going to go this time around. Enough is enough. I've crossed this property many times. I'm not going to do it again. But yeah, this is the down the hill. There's the drive, the private drive, and then you can see the embankment towards the creek. And right here, a point, one of the points, which would be part of the triangle theory, the south side, the south end of the Monon. And with that, I will walk back to the bridge, to the part of the bridge that's been reconstructed and remodeled, refurnished. So I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut now and let you guys enjoy this view. I'll try to move my phone around. I'm going to avoid going through there because I can't see where I'm stepping, so I'm gonna walk on this board. Turn the camera a little bit. So yep, I'm walking right on it, as you can see right there. And here's the front view of this. Here's a platform. I don't like these platforms, but oh well. Oh, and another thing is that I'm afraid of heights. But there's a mode where I just don't care. I'm not like Tommy Frost. I'm afraid of heights. Ooh, look at this one. Look at that one. Yikes. Okay, here's another platform. I know I've been on this one before. So that's how I do it. That's how I take myself to the south side. I know that there's warning signs about, you know, liability and things like that when you walk on this bridge. And of course, you know, if anything was to happen to me, I have full coverage insurance. Um, I wouldn't hold Carroll County responsible at all. Okay, so we have explored one of the points of the triangle, which would be the Monon High Bridge south end. And now I I'm gonna walk to my vehicle. I'm gonna stay live here, but what I'm gonna do, I mean, might as well do it since we're here. Is I'm not gonna need these in a minute. We're gonna walk down this path, and I'll probably stop around the ravine and show a bit about what is part of the inside of this triangle that we are discussing. So once again, I will show to the best of my ability the Monon High, and then of course we all know that if we look to our left, we're gonna see a path, a famous path that's been talked about a whole lot, as you can tell. Say hi to the sign, everybody. Hi, bye. Um, okay, so this path. Okay, when you get to like this point right here, If you look to the left, there's another path that takes you what I would say is north. And then this path here, which would be like southeast, will take us to the scene of the staging or the ravine, which I'm not gonna walk very far. I'm not gonna cross over to Logan's property. I'm just gonna I wanna explore a bit and show what would be inside of this triangle that we are discussing. So we have a path here, there's a ravine, and there's a scene of the staging. Um, I am one of those who believe I don't want to share too much of my opinions in public, but I'm one who believes that the scene where they were found is not the scene of the crime. I believe that 100%. So to the right, I turn the camera slightly, you would be able to see the creek, Deer Creek. I don't know if you guys can see it. I know I can, but anybody who's been here knows that the creek is to my right. To my left would be Mears. They have a field with crops, which we're going to explore because it falls inside the triangle. Um, and also 300 would be to my left. 300 north, whatever it is. West, east, 300 north, I think. Prof, if you're still there and you can hear me, I am not addressing the chat. One, I'm not very good at it, and two, I can't see it. So why don't you address the chat? And oh, and you keep your eye on Booger Amos. He's been very nice to me here lately, Mr. Booger Amos. I wonder if Booger Amos has joined the commentary there. Oh, Mr. Booger, you're so nice to me. But anyway, okay. So here's the point where I want to stop a little bit again. I'm at the top of the ravine. To my right, like I said, is the creek. To my left would be 300 and part of the field that belongs to the Mears. Okay, so I'm gonna stop right here. And I hope I hope that I'm showing you to the best of my ability. One, not knowing how to turn the camera around. I mean, I just don't see the turnaround switch. And two, I don't have my camera holder. But um, right behind me, if you were to go down that ravine and then back up, you're gonna come across a barbed wire fence. And as soon as you cross that barbed wire fence, you're officially on Ron Logan's property. And not very far from there, it kind of flattens out against the creek. And in that general area is what I call the scene of the staging. So this area that I'm exploring certainly falls inside the triangle that Mr. Swisher and Prof and I have discussed. So here's a view again to the best of my ability, guys. And at this moment, I'm gonna walk back down the path and back to our next our next location to explore. Yeah, Prof. If you see Booger Amos there, tell him I said hi. Oh, my dear goodness. That Booger Amos. The only reason I'm mentioning him is because I hadn't been on YouTube at least over 24 hours, a little bit over 24 hours. And I opened YouTube today and I had some notifications from Booger Amos. So interesting, so kind. And some interesting things have been happening to me, like been receiving some strange mail at my apartment. Booger Amos. I think there's a TikTok account using my avatar that's doing odd things. What else has been sent to me? I don't know. I will let you guys know later. Oh, the numerous prank calls, but this time they're calling and just not speaking, and numerous calls from unknown numbers. I mean, I might have to change my number, but I'm not going to because I don't have to. I'll take the prank calls. I don't care. Oh well, it is what it is. I know I don't prank call people. That I can guarantee you. All right, so I can see the top of the little roof there at the north end of the Monon High. So I'm very, very close to back to where I started. But I'm gonna do something a little different for you guys and to show how one could get from the scene of the staging to the Mears entrance without having to touch the blacktop on the walkway of the, well, back then it was gravel, but without having to walk the actual um, path. So remember when we started here, I told you guys that there is a path that goes this way to the left and the path that goes to the uh, the ravine, Logan's property, and or the scene of the staging. Well, I'm instead of taking the path there to my vehicle, I'm gonna take this path. So if you were to take this path, I'm gonna show you how you can go get straight to the Mears without touching the the path over there, the one that takes you to the Monon High Bridge, which I don't know if you guys can still see right up there. You can see the roof and the rails of the bridge. So now, once again, if I was to turn my camera to the right, I would be pointing at 300 North and the Mears Field, okay? And if I am to turn my camera to the left, I'm walking right along the Monon Trail. Um, I don't know if you guys can see the trail. I can, but of course I'm right here. Okay, so now I'm continuing to walk, make this walk down the path. At one point, this path is going to almost connect to the Mears field. And me, just by living in north central Indiana for 25 years, I know that every field has a path all around the field. And I'm not a farmer or anything, but I believe those paths are left around the field so that vehicles can get around and bring people in to work on the field, or maybe bring in some equipment, that type of stuff, right? So once we get to this Mears field, there is a path that takes you all the way down around the field, which is a cornfield right now. You'll be able to see it. And it takes you straight into the Mears entrance. And we're exploring this because all of this falls inside the triangle that we are currently discussing. So here it is, guys. Here is where this path, over there to the left, you can still see the Moran Trail. To the right would be 300. And of course, right in front of me, we can officially see the Mears field. And here it goes. This is what I'm saying. Here's another path that takes you. I believe this would take you maybe towards the um, one side of the cemetery. This is the one that takes you to the ravine. And this path right here that goes around this cornfield will take you straight up to the Mears entrance, which is where I parked my vehicle. And there's the cornfield. Well, we're making this walk. I'm gonna tell you guys a little story that happened in 1992 in Galveston, Indiana, which is right around Kokomo, Converse vicinity. Um, I'd come up from South Texas to the Tassel Corn with a group of people. I had other intentions, and but for the main purpose, or you know, the main idea was that we came up to the Tassel Corn. At least that's what we told everybody. So one morning, they woke us up and said it's time to go, and they lined us up. I remember it was the Miller Farms, and he lined us up. All these, Hispanic people who had come to work, and he said that we had to walk in between the stalks and cut this. I think you would cut the top of each one, and he assigned rows for us, and we started the journey. And I was like, "Fuck, dude, jeez, we gotta go all the way across the fucking field, you know." And anyway, anyway, um, when we made it to the other side, we come across this big old machine that had like a wagon. It was pulling a wagon, and we saw a bunch of white kids, um, a bunch of white kids on the wagons. And I asked Mr. Miller, the farmer. I said, "Excuse me, how come they get a wagon and we don't?" And he said, "Oh, don't worry, that's them." And I was like, "Man, that's freaking unfair. Can we get a wagon so we don't have to walk?" And he said, "No, you guys walk." Okay, well, that's I'm not a very good storyteller, but that's the story. And I'm here in an area where it's kind of open. It's kind of open. There's the field. I can see the mirrors, and here's one of the famous shacks or whatever you want to call it that got torn down, as you can tell, as you can see. And I'm about to exit this field, this cornfield. I'm about to come out. So you see how much quicker it is to get from here to the ravine and to the north side of the bridge and even to the scene of the staging. Okay. And this, what I'm showing you guys here, is absolutely inside the triangle. So I'm right here. I'll show you. I'll shut up and show you. So this is West 300 North. And there's the entrance where I usually park, and there's the path that I was referring to that farmers usually keep for extracurricular activity, you know, such as bringing people into work or bringing in equipment, etc. I don't know because I'm not a farmer, but that's what I think that is for. And here is this beautiful old Victorian farm house with barns. You can see the barns over there. And here is what we know as the Mears entrance. So we have explored one of the points of this triangle that we are discussing, and we're gonna move on to the next point. We're along the way. I'm gonna try to stop and explain to the best of my ability other key points that are inside this triangle where we believe everything took place. Absolutely everything. I'm gonna turn my camera once again. I just don't know how to turn this damn thing around. I don't see the. It doesn't matter. Let's just do it, man. All right, so here we go. I'm traveling. I believe it's south southeast. Or let me see. Southwest. My bad. Southwest towards basically towards the cemetery. There's the field. There's another field which is Mears, I believe. Okay, here's going to be one of the first key locations that are inside this triangle, being the cemetery. Okay, we've heard different stories about the cemetery. People might have been waiting here. Um, this cemetery, there is very, it's very, there's access to the scene of the staging. I'm gonna stop here a second. As you can see over there to my right, that I'm pointing, that's I just walked through there. I just walked around that field and ended up on 300, and it was a very short walk. Makes it very easy to get from the Mears entrance to the ravine and to the north side of the bridge, and also to the scene of the staging. Oh boy. Okay, so right here.
Okay, sorry, ladies and gentlemen. It looks like the sound is giving Noe problems. Let me let him know that there's an audio problem. Just one moment. Apologize for that. He must have hit a button on the phone. Just a moment. There is no sound, Noe.
I'm sorry. Can you hear me now?
Now it's back. Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm not gonna be able to. I'm gonna have to stay in my vehicle. I keep doing this all the time. When I get out of my car, uh, I forget that I'm on the Bluetooth in the
Oh, it
vehicle.
connects to Bluetooth. Yeah, you can turn your
Yes.
Bluetooth off if you want to stop that. There's an easy way to
Uh,
handle it.
well, yeah, I can, but then it's gonna be a pain. I'll just do it. I'll just do the talking from inside the car,
Okay,
anyways.
sounds good.
All right. I apologize for that. Can you guys? Is everybody back? And can you guys hear me now? Okay, I'm gonna turn this around. So I'm at the top edge of the cemetery where it loops around, and then it eventually goes back out that way towards 300. So that tree line over there, that would be Logan's property. Right across or right in front of me is a barbed wire fence, which I was explaining to you guys, but you guys couldn't hear me. There's a barbed wire fence right there, and then to my right you can see the ravine. You can see the ravine and also the Mears property. Well, on the other side of this fence is Logan's property, and if you were to walk a few hundred yards, you would eventually get to the scene of the staging and the creek. So yeah, that's what I was explaining to you guys, but obviously you couldn't hear me. I forgot about the Bluetooth. It happens all the time when I'm driving and I'm doing these. I get out of a car and I'm doing these presentations or whatever you want to call them. But here you can see the barbed wire fence. That's Logan's property. That will take you towards the scene of the staging. And of course, here now on the other side of this fence is officially would be Logan's property. I don't know if you guys can see through that little opening there. There's a little butterfly, I think. Here I go again. So you can't hear me. You know why. I'm just like a little boy. So yeah, that was Logan's property. And if you guys can just imagine going behind me, you can easily get towards or easily go towards the creek. and the scene of the staging. And why are we exploring this area? Because this falls inside the triangle that we are discussing. So I'm going to move forward and go to the next point of the triangle, and I'll let you guys watch, and I'll join you at our next area. Okay, I'm going to go slow. Appears to be like nobody's wanting to farm this land anymore. I don't know if it was uh, an area used for farming crops, or if he had, I thought maybe he had a few animals here. I don't know, but it doesn't look like anybody's doing anything here. I see a couple of goats over there, and right here, guys, as we know, I'm gonna park right here where it's still public. Okay, right here, I'm just gonna quickly say this is Logan's former property, and I believe somebody else owns it. There's a couple of goats over there. That black wagon still sits there in his home, which I'm not gonna be rude, and it's probably somebody else's property. So across the street, there's a silo, a barn, well, two silos. But if I'm not mistaken, I believe they said I don't remember. I came in too late, but I believe there was an old barn here that is no longer. But yeah, this would be the former Ron Logan's property, and we are exploring this because this certainly falls inside that triangle. And quite frankly, guys, it looks abandoned. No vehicles, no signs of anybody taking care of this property. So as we travel here on 300, we come to a stop, and I'm gonna take a right, which it becomes 575 West. I don't know if you guys can read the sign up there. I've I've been here many times, many. I've lost track, maybe 10 or more, and I've explored all these locations. But there's right here on this curve, you can see the creek down there, and I don't know if you guys can see it through all these leaves, but yeah, it we're driving just right along the creek, and right ahead to my left, you will see that there is another Mears property. Okay, very similar to the one that we just left. They have the green and white barn, their main home. So, and now we got some turkey. Thank you. Couple of them coming through. Okay, so now we are going to reach a point, another one of the points of this triangle we're discussing, which is the Wilson Bridge. And why is the Wilson Bridge part of this triangle, or what is it about the Wilson Bridge? Well, I couldn't tell you with frank certainty, but what I do understand is that there are some areas in this vicinity where you can see a tunnel or a cave. There's an open field where people uh, have used this open field for like uh, target shooting, and it is. You see, I got to be very careful with what I say, but it is. It has been known or said that maybe this was an area where the girls were taken to be hidden for a long period of time or some period of time, and and it could have been in this tunnel or this cave, um, and I don't know what the case is. I probably never will know because the way it looks, it's this case is never going to be solved, is what I've heard, which it sucks. If you guys lose my audio, just I'll explain. I'll tell you what I was talking about, but I'm going to show you real quick here. I just stopped here. I stopped here.
Just letting you
Just
know,
letting you know,
we can't hear
we
a
can't
thing,
hear a
Noe.
thing, though. We
Can't hear a
can't
thing.
hear a thing.
Just letting you
Just
know if
letting
you
you
can
know if
hear
you can
me.
hear me. I knew this was gonna happen. Okay, can you guys hear me? Prof, can you hear me? All right, can you hear me? Okay. So basically, what I just did was I showed the entrance to the open field that we discussed, has been discussed. And so to my right over here is the open field there. Let me drive a little closer to it. Right in there is a path where you can actually drive a vehicle, a pickup truck loaded with things in the back, um, onto the field. And this field will eventually take you straight to Deer Creek. Yep, I've been back there with Joe. And why are we exploring this area is because it falls inside the triangle that we've been discussing. So that's basically what I said um, when you guys when I lost the audio due to walking away from my vehicle. Okay, here we go. Moving forward. Okay, and here is Wilson Bridge. So this is another one, another point, the other point of the triangle, and how this is part of that triangle or why. Um, I am not going to exactly act like I know, but it's part of the discussion. People may believe that some type of activity took place here. Maybe people waited here, or people were dropped off here and walked. I, I'm going to exit my vehicle. If you lose my audio, it'll be fine because I'm coming back. But I'm going to show you how from this area people could have parked here, gotten on those paths down there, and walk straight down to the creek. Can you hear me, Prof and chat? I'm back in the vehicle. Okay, so yeah, why is this part of the triangle? Like I said, I just walked down that path. I showed you guys to my left would be the creek, but I pointed towards the woods. There's a path that takes you straight to the open field. And if you really want to be persistent, you could actually walk all the way to the south side of the Monon High Bridge. Uh, there's some homes, as we saw on the way here. There's a few homes, but if you stay on the rocks or on the creek or on the very edge of the embankment, you can actually get all the way down basically to Logan's property. So, point of this being that some people could have been dropped off here and take this path all the way down, or some people could have been brought down that path all the way to here. And reason why we are exploring this area, it's because it's inside the triangle that we are discussing. Okay, I'm gonna turn around. I'm gonna make a quick stop and then go to the third point of this famous triangle. It's not famous. It's just this triangle. Sorry. You see, I'm not real good with this stuff, man. And I'm not real good with the guitar either. I've been reading the comments. But that's not important. What's important is that it's my therapy and it works for me, and that's what's important. All right. So my next stop is right here. Right here is quite. I'm gonna use the emergency lights for this one. Okay, and it's gonna be a quick stop, and I'm just gonna go out there and show you guys why this stop is kind of important, because um, which is not. I mean, you guys can see back there. There's a Wilson Bridge. It's not even 50 yards. Okay. So as I was saying, this quick stop here to show you this. This is basically a culvert. It's an old school culvert. It's concrete. It resembles a cave. It resembles a tunnel, and it certainly looks like a place where somebody would come and hide something, keep it off away from view of people, of vehicles passing over. And it also, the several times that I've been down under this culvert, I've seen evidence of people using this culvert as a party spot. I've seen beer bottles, things of that nature. So the reason why we stopped here to explore this area is because it falls inside this triangle that we are discussing. So now we're gonna move forward. Get out of my car. Go. I, get out of here. I don't know if you guys can see way over there. There's a couple of towers. That's known as the Andersons or Andersons. There's there's a goat. You see him? Run, run. There's the any goat eaters around here? Any goat eaters on the chat? I'm just, you know who the goat eaters are? I do. The firemen, police officers. first responders. Does that term, the goat eaters, ring a bell, guys? Not all of them, okay? Not all of them. Now, guys, we are going to witness something I haven't seen in a while. I used to see this all the time up in the Goshen area when I lived in Goshen. We're actually running into a horse and buggy, and I'm gonna wave at them because I always like these people. I dated a former um, a former. Hi guys, how you doing? This is awesome. How are you? I'm just doing a little film, if you guys don't mind. And this is amazing. I used to live up in Goshen, and we used to see him all the time in Goshen. So I'm from Brownsville, Texas. So this is amazing to me. Thanks for stopping. Absolutely not. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye bye, guys. Yep, that's the horse and buggy. Are we still there? Sorry. Remember, everything happened inside this triangle. Everything happened inside this triangle. Okay, well, we are approaching. Here's an entrance to what would be um, the Freedom Bridge. You can't see it because of the trees, but yeah, this is a route where allegedly. Oh, I'm sorry. There it is. Allegedly, somebody walked this route and went into the Freedom Bridge, and um, that's the entrance that he allegedly took. And why are we exploring this? Because it falls inside this triangle. And yeah, we're getting closer to the highway, Heartland Highway. Now this vacant area here to my left, this is where allegedly somebody parked here and walked down that way towards the Freedom Bridge and then into the Monan Trails. So there's the Freedom Bridge. And this is the site of the old CPS building, which is no longer there. Joe had told me some stories that he used to park there to give tickets to people. Joe Swisher, our good friend. Now to the right is um, are these warehouses? Okay, to an area that we know as the Andersons. It's a fertilizer division. I have no clue what people do here. I have no clue of what their business is, their yeah, the product or whatever, fertilizer, I guess. But these towers, you're able to see from Logan's that 575 west. You can see these towers. So I'm assuming that beyond this trail or this railroad tracks are fields of what would be the. I can see the big old grain hill up there. I can see it through the trees. I don't think you guys can, but there's two of those, I believe. And then beyond that, you would actually be on the fields that are behind the Hoosier Harvest Store, the Mears, and all the way to 575 West. So there's some type of access from here to the Mears, to the Harvest Store, and to eventually the Mears entrance, eventually to West, 575 West. And this is the third point of the triangle. Uh, so I just drove in here, and if people want to shoot me, well, they go for it. I mean, I'm an easy target. Some people say that I'm an easy target. Looks like we are exploring. I mean, if somebody wants to say something to me, come and say something to me, and I'm gonna tell you I am exploring. And if you want to tell me to leave, I will leave. But here we are. I'm directly across from the old CPS lot over there behind these old semi trailers. and Freedom Bridge is right up there. As you can see, the railroad track keeps going along. Um, and then you see the tree line, you see this warehouse. There's a ramp here. I assume it's used for shipping or some sort of offloading, unloading. There's a warehouse there. I assume that's where they deal with fertilizer, etc. Man, I hope I don't get a flat. Yeah, I didn't think about that, guys. I could run over anything on this gravel paths, and I really don't feel like changing a flat tire. But we're exploring this vicinity, and I mean, that's what we're doing. Wow, now I'm behind this big old thing, which I will have to turn around because I don't see an exit around the other side. But it appears to be like that back here, you know, this is where they fill wagons with fertilizer, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. There's a tower up here, the big old concrete. What is this? A container, a, a warehouse? I don't know. What would you call this? I have no clue. Somebody put it in the chat. Well, I will exit the Andersons. Thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Anderson. The Andersons. Prof, can you join me for a second here? Can you guys hear me, Prof? Can you hear me?
Hey, sure. How is everyone doing? How you doing, Noe?
Hello, Mr. Prof.
Hello, Mr. Amos.
Hey, there we are. Okay, I don't know. Not the best with the camera. I think I had lost signal, but I'm back. So well, uh, I basically explored the 3 points of this triangle that we were discussing, and which is what and where our good friend Joe has discussed with us that all of the activity involving this double homicide took place. Um, People might have been involved here in helping take these girls here and there from point A to point B. We don't know. Hopefully, we will find out someday. But I wanted to start to conclude this tour and let's see what people think. Obviously, I was not able to follow the chat. I was not able to see the comments. Maybe I will in the replay, of course. But how did it go? What do you think? Was people interested? Did people seem engaged in this tour? What do you think, Prof?
Oh yeah, well, everyone was wonderful in the chat. I guess you'll get to read it on the replay if you watch. Thank you everyone for being amazing in the chat. So let's take a look at the screen. Just everyone, I want to draw your attention to the points that we are outlining, which is the Wilson Bridge over to the left. Thank you very much, ACB. I appreciate your support. You're going to see the Wilson Bridge, which is your furthermost point on the left, and the Andersons, your furthermost point on the right. And at the top, you have the south end of the High Bridge. And this basic area delineating the 3 points that we are calling the Delphi triangle. And the theory that Mr. Swisher helped us in our first formulating was that everything having to do with this crime occurred within the bounds of this triangle, meaning within the bounds of this triangle, you have uh, naturally the 3 points I mentioned, the Andersons, the High Bridge, and the Wilson Bridge. And within the triangle, you have all the various Mears properties. You have the Ron Logan's property. You have the cemetery property. You have the harvest store property. And so the basic concept being that within the property belonging to the Mears, the cemetery, the city being the trails, and the property of Mr. Ron Logan, we believe that everything occurred during a 36-hour period, plus or minus, within the bounds of this, whether the girls have been moved from Wilson Bridge to Ron Logan's, or from the High Bridge to Wilson Bridge, then to Ron Logan's, or perhaps to the Mears. But the Mears owning a large or a substantial portion of this property. Also, uh, pointed out as Noe was giving the tour, uh, you saw that it is very possible to walk from the High Bridge to Wilson Bridge, taking approximately 28 minutes for any normal adult, and taking less than 5 minutes to drive, possibly about 3.5. So whether on foot or in a vehicle, this area is very small. It's very much easily traversed by foot or by vehicle or by ATV. Um, and the ownership of the large portion of this is all under the Mears control, with Ron Logan being the exception. And so those are our basic thoughts about this. And we can go more into detail with it, but I think Noe today wanted to just do a quick drive around the area so that everyone can see for themselves how close everything is and how many hiding spots there is or there are. And and so thank you. So let's Noe, can you see the chat at this point?
Um, no, I cannot.
Well, if you go into StreamYard, there should be a way for you to see the chat on StreamYard. Do you see that
Um,
box?
I really don't, Prof. I see the chat, but like the private chat between you and me, I see how I could have access to that. But on my iPhone, I just don't know how to,
You
man.
can't find the
Unless let me
live
hit,
chat.
let me hold on, let me hit more. What does that give me? Gives me comment. Oh, comments. Maybe there.
Comments. Yeah,
Oh,
there you
yeah,
go.
there
Now
it
you.
is.
I'll
There it
let
is.
you
Yeah.
address the chat if you want to go through it, and if you want me to speak on anything. But I'll give you the floor
Well,
again.
yeah, I can say hi very quick to some of the people who joined. So I see ACV, and I see ACV being generous. Thank you very much, ACV. Um, Thanks for Kayla and Carol, our great Carol. Slade Smith, hi. The I is here. Hello, I. And that's all of the ones that I see. Let me go up. Let me go up. See who was up here. I see Nancy Drew. Hi, Nancy. Noe, you picked a very hot day to walk. It is really hot, but it's not that bad. I'm not even building a sweat yet. I don't know, but yeah, it looks hot, but it really isn't. The Crime Sleepers. Hey, there you are. Mr. Kishti was there, so thanks for joining. Isa God Thang, I hope I said that correctly. Thanks for joining in. And Bobby Smith, thanks for joining in. Uh, CSM 119. First time this 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 channel
Hey,
or
Noe. Noe,
this
hold on.
name.
Hold on, Noe.
Hi to Nancy Drew. Key West, how you doing, man? How you doing, Key West?
Hey, Noe. Noe, whatever you're doing, the signal's gotten worse. Okay, Noe. Whatever you're doing, the signal's getting worse. I don't know if you turned the car off or what you might have done, but why don't you try to come out and come back in and see if we can get a better signal so that everyone can hear you. So I'll give you a moment to come in and come back out. Uh, let's do this. All right. So while he's doing that, yes, once again, thank you, ACV. Let me put that up uh, for the support. We appreciate it. Says, appreciate the effort to put together the triangle theory. Great on the ground reporting, Noe and the prof. Well, thank you, ACV. That's encouraging. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. I have a prophet says Wilson Bridge is where Derek German called from at 311. Indeed, indeed. And Kayla says, why was Abby ransom? Okay. And I says, they have our girls. A famous quote from the custodians of Libby German. Derek hardly got any time for all those ingredients. Yes, because he made a deal. Kayla says, I'm having trouble grasping who and why they took Libby. Why was Abby ransom? Great job, Noe, says Rebecca Ann. Thank you, Noe. Maybe you can plug in and try again, or maybe you can try again, get a good signal. But try us again, Noe. We sure hate to lose you. The Eye, they got our girls suggest a kidnap, but what was demanded as a ransom? Abby Williams? Even the bridge is hard to find, especially when the trees are hiding it. It took me 2 visits before I found it. To be honest, Delphi is a town that is laid out very strangely. BP knows who did this. She called him out by name. Interesting. It's his air conditioner blowing all the NA chips. Carol says, go back out and come back in, Noe. Oh, I have my charger with me. Good job. Good job. Ding Dong says, excellent prof, Noe in chat. And Nancy Drew says, didn't have to happen this way. You owe me. Yeah, you guys are hitting it. You guys are hitting it. Well, look, while Noe gets his phone plugged in, does anyone have any questions about this map we have up since we have it up? Since we have it up. So, again, the theory being that there were several events involving the victims that all happened. Uh, it's in your text messages, Noe. The link is in. I text the link to you, Noe. Um, that everything transpired within a triangle, the basics of which you would see outlined here. And I may specifically recreate this map to a higher level of fidelity. Uh, I just wanted to quickly put this together because ACV asked for it, but possibly what I'll do is make a better version for you all to explore. Um, okay, so the concept being that within the basics of the area of this triangle, uh, a lot of a lot of activity took place. Um, and yes, the butcher shop is within the triangle. The Mears home and shop and everything is within this triangle. Uh, the shack would have been in this triangle. Everything would have been within this triangle, except if the girls or one of the girls or both, if anybody walked from the High Bridge to Wilson Bridge, they would have walked outside of this triangle in that instance because they would have followed along the uh, the banks of the creek, which would have brought them straight outside of the triangle somewhat. And the residences I've mentioned, uh, the residences I have mentioned are the Mears and the Ron Logan. And there are some other families as well that we have not discussed much, but you know about the Webbers, and there are some others. We're going to be getting into that shortly. To be honest with you, I'm not ready to talk about it yet, but we're going to discuss the residences along this creek. And no, Gish is further outside of this. So I'm not going to talk about Gish. He's pretty far outside of this. And no, Richard Allen's house is not within the triangle. Okay. All right. So come on, guys. Noe, can you click the link? Are you ready to come back, or should we end it? I'll give Noe a few more minutes to click the link, but yeah, that was a quick live for you on the ground. And again, everyone, please thank Noe for doing a brief tour of the vicinity. Let's see if Noe's going to get back in. Thank you, Rebecca. I will attempt to do a better version of this map. Like I said, I threw this together quickly for Mr. ACV at his request, or maybe it was someone requested that I throw up a map. So this was a basic version, but we'll do a more detailed version with labeling, and hopefully you guys will like that. Let's see. I think Noe may be struggling to get back in. So I'll give him 5 minutes and then we'll call it a day. So while I do that, let me thank everyone who was here. I really do appreciate your participation in the chat. Please hit the like while you're here. Let's see, we're going to say Rebecca Ann was here. Phoenix was here. Sandy D, Tammy McRae, Sunflower Soul. Of course, Rebecca Ann, Bill, Fur Baby Daddy, Crystal Blue Persuasion, Gaslight You. Holly was here. Meow Meow was here. This was much earlier. Stephen Curry was here. And Meow Meow, I said already. Okay, we had Not DB, Swade Smith. Had a couple trolls come in and try to derail the chat. That didn't work out. The Crime Sleepers, thank you for being here and contributing. Crime Sleepers. Nancy Drew 101. Jennifer Dickerson. Kayla was here. Anti Woke is here. ACV. Nancy Drew, I might have said already. Four Pits was here. Are you having trouble clicking the link, Noe? Foxy Lady was here. Iva Apophis was here. Kay West was here. Kay West, thank you for your comments. Foxy Lady, thank you. Kayla, thank you for the comments. Let's see. Four Pits, thank you for adding your input to the local area. Appreciate it. Is a God Thing was here. Emmy Sue was here. Lisa was here. All right. Milan 1885 was here. All right. All right. And Carol was here. All right. I've already said Is a God Thing. Crime Sleepers. Bobby Smith was here. Thank you, Bobby Smith. And thank you, Lisa, again. I see plenty of comments. Thanks, everyone, for contributing to the chat. Okay. I guess Noe's not able to get back in, so I apologize for that, Noe. It's very disappointing, but I really appreciate you giving the tour of the area, Noe, and I know that all the viewers will appreciate being able to reference this video. And I got to admit, at this time of year, my God, it's overgrown, isn't it? It's quite overgrown. Really like a jungle out there, and not a soul in sight. Not a soul in sight. All right. Scott Perkins, how you doing, Scott? Scott Perkins here. All right. All right. Who else do we have here? Kayla says, if you go to Beacon, you can mark the triangle over the property lines. Good job. God first, keep fighting. Yes, God first. Thank you so much. God bless Abby and Libby. God bless the families. And God bless all the residents of the area who have had to deal with this evil for many years now. We pray for everyone, and God bless all of our viewers. We pray for your own spiritual and mental health, sanity, and healing. Thank you, Noe, especially for the commentary. Yes, yes. Thank you. Yes, thank you, everyone. Everyone, please enjoy your lives, enjoy your days and nights, and find your healing. And just know that we've given this all up to God to expose as He sees fit all the aspects of this crime and whoever may have been involved, because certainly we have no skin in the game. Our only desire is that all the perpetrators of this crime and the cover up of this crime be exposed, and all truth come to the surface, and all the facts present themselves, because we do believe that that would be true justice for Abby and Libby, and that would be true justice for the families, and true justice for all of the victims of the ripple effects of this crime ever since the bodies were found and announced on February 14th, 2017. It's been quite a while, and it's been justice that's been a long time in coming. So everything we do for the aspects of truth, hope, and justice that that the perpetrators of this crime will be exposed, and that the true facts of this crime will come to the surface, no matter who it implicates, who is involved, and what it means for the community, because we believe that truth is the ultimate justice after all. And I want to thank you guys for that. So God bless you. Oh, there comes True Crime Skeptic. Welcome to you, and thank you for being here. And thank you to Captain Underpants. Thank you for being here. And yes, and Lisa, a good point there. Not just this crime, but any and all related crimes, including that of Flora, which we believe was a true crime and has been a true cover-up, just in the same sense as we believe the Delphi murders has been. So we hope that justice and healing for the entire community. And anyway, we want to thank you all for being here. Again, please hit the like on your way out, and please watch the replay. And if you're watching the replay, please hit the comment section. This entire channel is left up with the comment section open to encourage discussion and a conversation that's ongoing about this, because we believe that's the most likely successful way to achieve justice is by keeping a conversation about this, keeping the victims in the public consciousness, and keeping the anomalies and the issues up for discussion. And that's what we're here for. So God bless you guys. We love you. And we're going to get on out of here. And if Noe has any updates, I'll post them on the community page for you all. So anyway, thank you and God bless.